American manufacturers haven't exactly made supercars their specialty, but they have experimented with them over the years with varying degrees of success. Americans love to drive fast in cars with large engines. They have a long history of building quick cars and are by far the biggest market for sports cars. They have stock cars, hill climbers, pickup trucks with plenty of power, and off-road monsters in addition to street-tearing muscle cars and stock cars. American-made vehicles with impressive performance are currently overrunning the local market. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cars Insider. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on the car world and technologies related to automobiles. With that being said, let's get started. However, historically and largely still today, American automakers didn't produce supercars. However, this concept makes perfect sense on paper, due to the lack of domestic competition and the fact that European supercars like Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Porsche sell more vehicles in the United States than anyplace else. They have monopolized the exotic car market with the Ford GT and C8 Corvette's recent releases. It is exciting for Europeans to face genuine rivalry from Americans across the water. You only need to listen to the Z06 Corvette's song to understand why we are so happy. So what do you mean by supercars? Are you looking for one? And why these cars are the best all the time? Now that there is a new chapter in the history of American supercars, it is only appropriate that we examine 7 amazing supercars that American automakers produced. Number 1. C8 Corvette. When the C8 Corvette first debuted, it was all the rage, and the spark was lit by Chevy's choice to give the Corvette a mid-engine design. And we believe it to be one of the best choices ever made. Yes, it may resemble a Ferrari more than a Corvette and exhibit a slight amount of understeer, but it is still the best performing Corvette ever. The pricing is only the cherry on top. The Chevrolet Corvette C8 democratizes the Mr. Supercar and provides performance that is nearly at the pinnacle for under $60,000. Put it on a racetrack or a thrilling, winding mountain pass and observe how it comes to life. The vehicle grips the road with what seems like an endless amount of traction as it roars at high revs. However, if you let go of your foot just a little, you'll find a kitten instead of the same wildcat. The C8 Corvette is highly practical, cozy, and quiet at slower daily speeds. And a Corvette is all about it. Number 2. Hennessy. Hennessy began his career as a tuner, like Saleen. Nearly everything in America was tuned, and they learned their trade on racetracks. And they keep on pushing the limits of new car tuning. It only makes sense that their vehicle, a Frankenstein created from a Corvette engine and a Lotus Exige body that were both highly modified, is among the quickest production vehicles ever. The Venom F5's all-carbon fiber construction and innovative, from-scratch design enable it to reach a top speed of more than 500 km/h, 310.7 miles per hour. The new F5 chassis is both lightweight and strong. The overall weight is only 86 kilograms, and torsional rigidity has been tested at 52,000 Newton-meters per degree, 38,353 torque per degree, 190 pounds. The Hennessy Venom F5 engine, which is based on traditional American V8 construction, generates an amazing 1,817 horsepower and 1,193 of torque. It has a 6.6 L displacement and uses a combination of high-tech, lightweight engine parts, crankshaft, pistons, connecting rods, and unique engine block, along with 2 precision ball-bearing twin turbochargers and a titanium compressor that was 3D printed. When it comes to American automobiles, power is everything, and that Hennessy Venom GT is extremely powerful even by American standards. And at 1,200 horsepower, that could be the year's biggest understatement. If there is adequate space on the road, this vehicle can speed above 270 miles per hour. Number 3. SSC Tuatara. Another amazing invention by Shelby Supercars is the SSC Tuatara, and the vehicle is fairly swift. It can generate 1,350 horsepower on 91-octane fuel and 1,750 horsepower on E85, which is absurd for a production vehicle. The American automaker SSC North America created, developed, and produced the SSC Tuatara, a sports car, formerly Shelby Supercars Inc. The vehicle, which is the ultimate Arrows replacement, is the outcome of Jason Castriota and SSC design partnership. The vehicle was initially powered by a 6.9-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine, but eventually had its capacity down to 5.9-liter, 360.8 in, to enable a higher redline of 8,800 rounds per minute. In addition to a top speed of 300 miles per hour, 483 km per hour, SSC had said that the power output would be rated at 1,350 horsepower, 1,000 kilowatt, or 1,750 horsepower, 1,300 kilowatt, on E85 gasoline. The world's quickest production vehicle is the Tuatara. They did a top-speed run at a NASA runway in January and attained a two-way average speed of 282.9 miles per hour, although its top-speed runs were controversial. Not quite the 331 mph they had claimed, but hey, maybe Tuatara will reach the elusive 300 miles per hour milestone on a longer track. Number 4. Vector W8. It's a long shot, but we'll try to include Vector W8 on this side of the list because fantastic is one of the first things that comes to mind when thinking about Vector W8. It was the first supercar in America and Gerald Weigert's pride and delight. Although it predated the Saleen S7 by a considerable amount of time, it was never a fully realized production vehicle, and it wasn't a car at all but more of a fighter jet for the streets. Nevertheless, it gave many kids fuel for their aspirations, and some of those goals were even realized and distributed to the general public. A twin-turbocharged Corvette engine that has been upgraded to produce 625 horsepower and has a top speed of 218 miles per hour provided the power. The Vector had the looks, and its performance was excellent for the time, but persistent financial difficulties led to its demise. Number 5. Ford GT. It has been 55 years since the Ford GT40 brought fame to Dearborn, Michigan, in international racing. The GT nameplate continues to be a major player in the automotive industry, even after all these years. The Ford GT defeated a Ferrari to win the LMGTE Pro Class in 2016, the 50th anniversary of the famous 24 Hours of Le Mans event from 1966. However, the first-generation GT was encroaching on the streets long before the second-generation GT Splendor swept through IMSA races. What an invasion it was, too! On a car that could handle like a race car, there are sounds of American might. A V8 supercharger produces 500 horsepower, and it looks incredible. Later, Ford gave us the second generation, and it was simply amazing. A chassis that can handle that amount of power with no issues whatsoever can manage 647 horsepower from a twin-turbo V6. Ford was responsible alone for putting America back on the supercar map. Number 6. Falcon F7. American automaker Falcon Motorsports is known for producing high-performance vehicles, most notably the Falcon F Series, Falcon F5, and Falcon F7. The American automotive designer and engineer Jeff Lemke established the Michigan-based business in 2009. The Falcon F7 production model was unveiled to the international automotive press in 2012. The company's first vehicle was this one. The F7 is a rear-wheel drive, mid-engine sports car with 2 seats and a monocoque chassis made of Kevlar, carbon fiber, and aluminum. The car's base engine is a naturally aspirated 427 cubic inch all-aluminum dry-sump V8 derived from the LS7 that produces between 620 and 680 horsepower and allows the 2,750-pound vehicle to accelerate from a stop to 60 mph in 3.3 to 3.6 seconds. Later, the business released a Falcon F7 Evolution model that uses forced induction, or a twin-turbo system on its 427 cubic inch V8, increasing the vehicle's output to 1,100 HP. Number 7. Saleen S7. Some sources claim that Ford's GT was the first authentic American supercar, but we believe the Saleen S7 deserves the distinction. It is one of the most attractive American supercars and has an unmatched presence on the road. Because of its enormous size and superb straight-line speed, it was a true American automobile. This vehicle was propelled by a modified Ford Windsor engine that joyfully sent 550 horsepower to the rear wheels after being bored and stroked to 7 liters. There were also twin-turbo variants with 750 horsepower and a powerful amount of torque. Americans have been driving in straight lines for a very long time, so it's simple for them. But what's impressive is that the Saleen S7 is a stable beast even around the turns, proving that the crazy aero package is performing wonders. So what are your views on this, and how you can make a long run with such cars? Are people able to maintain such cars? Well, this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching, do like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful content from us. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.